Hey everyone, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2020 Kia Sportage, we're going to be showing you how to install the etrailer.com trailer hitch receiver. Before we do that though, just take a minute, check this out, and make sure it's going to be the right hitch for you. So when it comes to putting a hitch on the back of your Sportage, what it's going to do is really help open up your opportunities on what you're going to be able to get done. You know, if you're trying to pull a trailer around, use accessories, or a little bit of both, this one's going to allow you to do that. There are several hitches available for the Sportage, and if it were me, I'd definitely recommend going with one of the 2" by 2" ones, just like this one here. And I say it because they're just much more versatile. A lot more things work with them. Out of those 2" by 2" ones, this one, as well as the Kurt hitch, I would say are probably the best general purpose, general use style of hitch. I think they look good. The eTrailer one here is matte black, blends in with our bumper pretty well. There's a draw tight hitch available, which in my opinion don't quite look as good in terms of the appearance, but it has a little bit higher capacities and a bracket that's attached to it for trailer wiring. So if you're primarily going to be pulling a trailer around, that one might be a better selection for you. The hitch is going to use that standard 5/8 size pin and clip. Keep in mind though, it doesn't come included with it. If you need one, not a huge deal. You can always grab it right here at eTrailer. A lot of times too, if you end up buying a new accessory, they'll come included with one, so something to look out for there. The safety chain openings kind of sit back a little ways, but they're still pretty easy to get to. And they have a oval shaped hole there, which should provide us with enough room to use just about any size hook that our trailer might have on it. As far as the weight capacities go, it's going to have some pretty good numbers. Maximum gross tongue weight rating will be 525 pounds. So that's the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. And that's good for just about any size bike rack or cargo carrier, give an example. As far as the maximum gross trailer weight rating goes, that's going to be 3,500 pounds, or the amount of weight pulling on the hitch. That is the weight of your trailer plus anything you might have in or on it. And with all that said, I'd always like to recommend, never a bad idea just to grab your Kia's owner's manual. That way you can check in there and make sure that your SUV can handle that much weight safely. We'll grab a couple measurements now, and these will help us figure out what type of accessories will work best. So if we go from the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of the rear bumper, that's going to be about 5 inches. And you can use that to help figure out exactly if any of those folding type accessories you might have can be stored in an upright position without hitting the back of your Kia. And if we go from the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening, that's going to be about 14 inches. So if you plan on pulling a trailer around, you can probably use a ball mount that has a rise in the shank, or that 2" range would work well for most people. Ultimately, at the end of the day, a hitch you really can't go wrong with. You know, you can pull your trailer around or use your accessory, and it looks good too, so can't really ask for too much more. As far as the installation goes, really not too bad at all. A couple of panels, they pop right down. Let the exhaust come down a little bit, which pretty easy, it's not a huge deal, and the hitch bolts up into place. So shouldn't give you too many issues or take up a bunch of your time, but with that said, why don't we go ahead and get started on it now. To begin our installation, we're going to be underneath the back of our Kia, and over here on the driver's side, we're going to have this underbody panel that we need to remove. Along the bottom edge, you're going to have 2 push pin fasteners, so you can use a flathead screwdriver, pry underneath the head of it, pull the whole fastener out. And then up top here in this little pocket, there's 2 more plastic fasteners. And I don't know if these are missing a piece or what, but usually there will be a plastic nut that you can get a socket up in there with an extension on it and turn them, but I guess I don't know if ours are just missing or what. So we have these deals, which we'll just try to spin off. Another screwdriver here. Yours are like this. Finding it almost easier just to grab a pair of needle nose pliers and spin it off that way. Sometimes too, when you get kind of close to the end, you'll have to apply downward pressure on it while you're spinning it. But once those are free, you can drop this panel down and out of the way. The passenger side one, more or less going to be set up the same way. You have these two, the two up top, but then on the back side, or front side rather, you'll have another push pin right there. So we'll work our way around, get all these removed. Drop this down and set it to the side. We are going to need to let our exhaust come down a little bit to give us some extra room to work. So prior to doing that, I like to take a strap and just run it from side to side. That way you can kind of control how fast and how far we let that exhaust come down. We're going to have two rubber isolator hangers just like this one here, and one on each side of our muffler. And it helps to spray them down with soapy water, some type of lubricant. And from this point on, whatever we do to one side of the vehicle, we'll do to the other side. So we set up the same. To get these off, just take a pry bar or big screwdriver, work one end of it off, just like that. We'll go over our attachment points here. They're going to be the same on both sides. You're going to have a total of 4 on each frame rail, with 2 on the bottom and 2 on the side there. And these are threaded right from the factory, so I do suggest spraying them out with some type of penetrating oil, cleaning the threads. You can use a brush like this to get any debris out of there. And the hardware that we're going to use to secure the hitch will be a bolt, a mechanical tooth washer. You want to make sure that the teeth are going to face up towards the hitch. And what I suggest doing after you clean them, take the bolt and make sure you can start it and it goes in easy. If not, if these are really rusty or really dirty, you might have to use what's called a tap to clean them out. This is an M10 by 1.25, and the way this works is you get it started straight, and you turn this slowly, kind of back and forth, run it all the way up, and that'll make the threads like pretty much new. So just a pointer there if that's something you run into. If you got someone that can give you a hand with this part, it'll make it a lot easier. You'll go put the hitch up and over the exhaust and raise it into position. We'll take the hardware that we talked about and get them all started and tight. Once you have the hardware hand tight, we'll come back with a 17 millimeter and snug everything down. You need to make sure and come back with a torque wrench now and tighten down all the hardware to the amount specified in the instructions. Rehang our exhaust, so just to re-lubricate them, and when you're putting these back on, you can just line it up by hand, push it into place. I got the other side secured already, and with it supporting itself again, we can get rid of our strap. And at this point, we can reinstall our underbody panels the opposite way that we removed them. And once you have that done, that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the etrailer.com trailer hitch receiver on our 2020 Kia Sportage.